Hey guys, for our lesson today, we are going to be looking at finding the main idea or the theme. When you finish watching the video, you will have a main idea activity that you'll do in Canvas, which is your number one activity, your assignment. Then you will watch a brain pop video on comparing. And then finally, you'll do a comparative page in Cami that goes along with the video that you just watched. So our goal for today is I can recognize the central or main ideas in a text. I can identify supporting evidence for the central ideas. I can evaluate details to determine key ideas that support the central ideas. So you're going to need your reading book today and a piece of or a pencil so that you are able to write. What we're looking at is finding the main idea and the details that support it. So a couple weeks ago, we looked at the central idea. The central idea is another way that we say main idea, and we're going to practice looking for central ideas or main ideas to gain a deeper understanding of why is the Statue of Liberty green. So remember, the central idea of a text is what the text is mostly about. Authors include different types of details or evidence to support the central idea in the text. The supporting evidence may include facts or examples. So, as we're looking for the central idea, we want to look at headings. We want to look at the visuals, the pictures, the text, and graphic features. We are also going to look at the first or last sentence in that section. And then also, we usually try to find some repeated words. When we're evaluating those details to determine if they are key details that support the main idea, we're going to be looking for examples. Sometimes when you know the main idea, they're going to give examples to support it. We're going to look for facts, evidence, or descriptions. So in your book on page 279, there is a caption, and it says, "The pedestal is 154 feet, 47 meters tall. The statue is 151 feet, 46 meters tall. Together, they are 305 feet, or 93 meters tall. This is about as long as a football field." So as I'm thinking about this, I can use this graphic organizer. And in the graphic organizer, I'm going to be looking at the topic. So that idea of what is this section giving me information about? Then I'm going to look for some details that go along with this section. And then finally, I'm going to take all of those details together to make the main idea. So as I was reading this, I was thinking about the topic is going to be the size of the Statue of Liberty. So we're learning how tall the Statue of Liberty is. It's comparing it to something as well. So some of those details that support the size of the Statue of Liberty, the pedestal is 154 feet tall. That came right from my text, and that's a detail that I wanted to include in my graphic organizer. Another detail that I can find is that the statue is 150 feet tall. Again, that's right in my text, and it helps me to know the size of the Statue of Liberty. A final detail that I can see is that it is as long as a football field. So this helps me to understand how tall it is. If you've ever been to a football game, you know how long the football field is, and it is pretty long. Imagine if the Statue of Liberty was laying down. This would help us to visualize and help us to understand how tall the Statue of Liberty is. So when I look at this, I'm looking at the size of the Statue of Liberty. I have details that tell me more, or they explain the Statue of Liberty a little bit more. So it gives us facts about the Statue of Liberty. Those are the details that we have. And I can take those ideas and I can make my own main idea or central idea sentence. So I came up with a really basic sentence. I wanted to include the Statue of Liberty, and we know that from this, it is a tall building. So I came up with this main idea. The Statue of Liberty is a very tall monument. I pulled that word monument because it was something that we've been talking about, and I pulled it from my prior knowledge. So the Statue of Liberty is a very tall monument. Then I get my details about how tall it is. Those are the supporting details. Looking at page 285, I'll do another one. We're going to look at paragraph 20, this one right here. It says, Ranger Alicia points out Ellis Island. People who sailed to the United States used to stop there first when they arrived. These new Americans sailed past the statue on their way. It was one of the first things they saw, she says. It seems to be welcoming them to their new home. So as I was reading this paragraph, I was thinking about what is it that this paragraph is about, and I felt like it was about the people coming to America. And so my supporting details, I'm going to find information about those people coming to America. One detail I have is that it was the first thing they saw. So the Statue of Liberty is the first thing that they saw. Another detail is that it seems to be welcoming them to their new home. So this last sentence is what I use in my second detail. My third detail is where it talks about the people coming to America. People who sailed to the United States used to stop there first when they arrived. So they stopped on Ellis Island before they arrived, and from there they could see the Statue of Liberty. So knowing that this paragraph is all about the people coming to America, that the Statue of Liberty is one of the first things they saw. I know earlier in the text it talked about the torch and how you can see the torch from miles away out in the ocean. It seems to be welcoming them to their new home. We talked about how the Statue of Liberty means freedom. So those people coming from Great Britain were going to be free, and they were coming to their new home to be free. And then as they were coming in, they have to stop at Ellis Island. That's their first stop they go to when they come into the United States. So taking all of that information together, I came up with the main idea of people coming to live in the United States saw the Statue of Liberty. So again, very basic, but I'm putting it into my own words and using what I know to help me. I have what my topic was, people coming to live in the United States, and how they saw the Statue of Liberty. It was the first thing they saw. It was welcoming to their new home. And then from where they stopped at Ellis Island is how they saw her. You are going to be reading a page in your book, and it is all about the copper penny, or about how the color of the Statue of Liberty came about. And it's paragraph 22, 23, and 24. So when you go to do your assignment, it'll be on your page, but I also would encourage you to use your book and highlight some of these things. So as you're looking at this, you're going to go in and answer the questions. They're going to be multiple choice, and you're going to be picking what is the topic of this paragraph, these paragraphs? What are some supporting details that go with this paragraph? And then finally, you're going to be picking a main idea sentence that goes with this paragraph. After you do that, you will be watching a brain pop video about comparing things, and then you will be doing the assignment on comparing different objects as well.